And we're live. Thank you all for joining us for another episode of Shadowrun Up in Smoke, our Shadowrun 6th Edition live play game set in London 2082. And right now, we are in a spooky, spooky place. Before we jump into spooky, spooky places with ghosts and other fun stuff, let's go around the room and people can tell you who they are and who they are playing. Kat, take it away.
Hello, I'm Kat, or a Cleric of Court. I am playing Nico, the human street shaman, who spent the first arc of this game having her life torn apart and is slowly rebuilding. And now she's running back into somebody that she's met before, and she wishes she had a magical fire extinguisher.
And secondly, who are you going to call?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm Pete.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah. Yeah. What
Would you prefer Pika Pete?
Yeah. Oh? No. It's not. Pete, play Grifter. Yeah, all round badass. Go.
I'm Kim. I play KTP, who's the group's technomancer, who's still trying to convince everyone to go straight, and it's not really working.
And I play everyone else, including the spooky, spooky things.
Nico hasn't been straight a moment in her life. In any sense of the word.
What's the Groucho Marx saying? Ask a man if he's straight. If he says yes, he's surely crooked. Last time, our Shadowrunners returned home from their escapades in the Stage of Destiny, an underground gambling. Calling it a casino is an understatement. It's a gambling extravaganza. But they returned home after having a mild success and making some progress in the case of metahuman trafficking, to discover that Sphere had left, vacated the premises, leaving only a couple of things behind. The group then decided to complete the task that had been set for Nico by Sarah and Amelia, her new quote-unquote sisters. Kai's sisters, who have pretty much adopted her at this point. The task is simple. Clear out a house in the middle of London that is supposedly haunted. A quick research by KTP revealed that through its history, you would categorize it as fuck yes, it's haunted. It is the typical movie haunted house. All the previous tenants have died. It was previously an orphanage, a psych, an asylum. Before that, I don't know, built on top of Celtic graves. Anything. It is a place of supercharged malice. And the team stepped inside, discovering that once they did, the door was gone and they were trapped. Things played with their senses a bit. Grifter almost shot an apparition and would have, if not stopped at the last second, would have shot a gas pipe, and things would have gotten far more interesting. And we end our session with Nico being pulled down into the basement to meet a man in almost like a 1920s film noir detective attire, but with a flaming, almost like a flaming skull for a head, like blue flames just leaping out. And he gave her a warm welcome as, "Hey Toots, welcome to my humble abode." And that's where we pick up. And that's where we pick up. You're face to face with this apparition, which you immediately know is the heart of this whatever is going on in this house. It's all him.
Oh, I gave up smoking too.
Need a light?
No, but I could use the smoke.
Oh, well, I can give you the same treatment I gave you, Buddy Kai. You see his hand lights on fire.
Nah, that's all right. I'm plenty warm, thanks.
I'm going to give you a chance to walk away from this place. Leave it alone. And nothing has to happen here.
Okay.
Or we can party.
Oh, we can party. Is it a fun party?
For me, it will.
Okay. I'm gonna throw clout at his head.
Okay. I'm going to resist for him.
Yeah. To remember how many I did. Okay, that's right. 15. Let's do 17 dice. Sorry, it's a big handful of dice, y'all.
The damage is real.
That is 7 hits.
You throw the clout at him and he swats it out of midair. 8 hits.
Huh.
This party it is. My turn. And you see, he reaches towards you and he's standing a few meters behind, like away from you. And the hand just stretches up to you. And I need you to roll a resistance roll. This will be like a magic resistance.
So.
Well, I'll look at quickly at the
direct. Is it direct combat or indirect?
It's direct. So it's willpower and intuition.
Willpower plus intuition. Yep. Okay. Four.
Okay. I need to roll your body.
Oh.
Okay. I'm going to do my what is it?
Whatever you
Boost.
need.
Yep. Just gonna do the boost. So magic. That's 10 dice. Okay, so that's going to take that up to 7. No hits.
No hits. Okay. You take 9 levels of stun damage.
Stun damage.
Yeah. You see, as he grabs you, you feel that same sensation of your magic leaving you as when you suffer drain. You feel it as he grabs you. You feel him siphoning the life out of you.
Sorry, I'm doing math.
While she does math, what are you doing upstairs? You're 1.
I have 1 box of stun damage open, and I still haven't rolled for my drain for my spell.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Well, I guess up the top where
You just saw Nico being pulled
Exactly.
under.
did you say the floor had sort of closed itself in
It
again?
kind of closed itself. It's mostly just rubble. Like you see like you could move things out of the way, but you have no idea of you pull a few things and you still look at more rubble.
I guess so. Grifter, has pulled some rocks away.
Make an intuition and perception roll for me.
Oh, well, that's a waste of time. Perception and
Is it visual perception?
Yes.
So you get 1.
yeah, and intuition.
Yep.
I got 2.
Ooh, that was loud. You got 2. As you're trying to move things away, you see a shadow move past you, moving from one room to another.
This is the room that I put water on the floor in last time.
Yeah.
So
You see this. You see the wet footprints. They're bare feet, and they look strangely large, but also like thin and elongated. Like looks strange.
And you're still holding on to Karis, I'm assuming.
Pete, I'm gonna need you to check the mic because you're peaking really hard.
Oh, okay. I apologize for that.
Okay, no, that's fine. I think you just got too close.
Yeah, sorry, man. So yeah, if you're still holding on to Karis,
You're too low.
okay. I'll make sure
it's going well.
it's going well. I guess I'll kind of lift gun up to be in line with the door where I expect the movement, like where the footsteps went into.
It's heading toward you. The only thing in that direction is the living room.
And kind
KTP, you feel warm hands holding you close, holding you tight.
Yeah, but is it Karis though?
You look up and Karis is not there. Karis is following Grifter out the door. Nico.
Yeah, so what happens with stun overflow?
You
Does it become
go
physical, or-
unconscious.
You go unconscious?
Yeah.
Okay, she's down.
Okay. You now take. Normally would go over. No, I'm actually not going to do it. I'm gonna. You take 3 points of physical damage,
Okay.
and you wake up with 2 stun boxes healed,
Okay.
and you wake up with him having a hand on your chest, and there's a searing, like a seared palm print on him. It says, "No, no, 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 no! You don't go to sleep just now. I told you, we're gonna party." And he grabs you and throws you back up.
Okay.
You all hear a deafening crash. KTP, whatever is holding you, you feel like one arm across your chest and the other across your stomach, like they're embracing you tightly. And you hear a crash. Nico, you are stuck between the walls. And I need you to make a body roll for me because you are suffocating.
Cool.
Oh.
That went so well last time.
If you roll at least 1 hit, you get an action to try to draw attention to your predicament.
And I rolled exactly 1 hit. So
You have a bit of air left in your lungs after being kind of thrown. as a kind of surprise, and also waking up startled, and you're in pain with that burn there, plus the horrific drain.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Yeah, she just screams.
I'm
At
gonna
this point,
need-
it's all happened so fast. She can't process, and she screams.
I'm gonna tell you, because you know your danger sense is,
Oh yeah, through the roof.
yeah, it is a white noise at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to ask you an honest question. On a
Okay.
scale of 1 to 10, how scared is Nico at this moment?
She is literally panicked. She's not thinking coherently. Lizard brain has taken over. That's where she's at. Her lizard brain has taken over. Everything that happened is so quick that lizard brain's taken over.
I'm gonna put the difficulty of this at 3. I need from KTP and Grifter to give me an intuition and perception to see if you can hear the muffled screams coming from within the wall itself. And for you, Nico, the experience is you are very much trapped between wood and plaster to the point where you cannot move. There is no wiggle room. You've been shoved into a space that was not built for you to be in here.
I mean, she was living in rubble of buildings, and she's been caught in that kind of collapse before. So yeah.
You're not going to believe this, but I got 3 and Pete got 5. Pete got 5.
5.
You definitely hear something. You hear Nico's voice. It's strained. It's definitely panicking. You're just not certain, and you're certain it's coming from a wall. It's a wall outside of this room, though.
Can I tell if it's up or down, or?
Rifter, you know exactly which wall it is down the hall, near the door to that other room, like and also near the stairs to the second floor. But it is still this floor. You know exactly where she is from the sound, where it's coming from.
So I'm gonna turn round to KTP.
You were leaving the room.
Huh?
You were leaving the room with Karis.
Well, I was leaving the room until
Okay.
the screams. Do I know that something is wrong with KTP with the hugging thing, or?
It depends. Is KTP reacting in any way? By the way, KTP, I need you to roll your body for me.
Oh.
3 hits.
3 hits. Cool. You take 1 point of stun damage as these hands, what you think are hands, grip you tightly, and you start to feel very cold. In fact, your feet are in this little puddle, and you see small little ice crystals begin to form on the edges of your shoes.
All right.
So I'm assuming then Grifter would see something is amiss.
What is the look on KTP's face?
Probably as white as a sheet.
I think with that and the fact that you already rolled very high on a visual perception, yeah, something's off, definitely. The fact that her shoes, she's not standing so much in water as in a bit of ice, clearly tells you something is off. And as if you look closer, you see that there are almost like cold burn marks on a bit of her skin.
So first thing, obviously straight away notice something's wrong. Grifter then, I guess, Are you okay? You know, something.
Can I actually speak though?
Yes.
I can speak. So right now, I think she's scared, so she probably doesn't speak, but frantically shakes her head.
In a yes or no?
No.
Oh, right. Okay.
And she goes, chilling, just fine.
Yeah,
Where is she?
fine.
Good. Yeah. So Grifter's kind of torn between hearing the scream and knowing that he needs to go and get to Nico, but at the same time,
I'm gonna give you a choice. You have Karis, so I'm gonna
yeah,
ask
this,
you, who's gonna take care of what? You can send Karis as a resource, use him, and decide where he's gonna be useful. Nico, you take 1 point of both physical and stun damage, so you are now 1 stun damage away again from falling unconscious. At which point, things get bad.
okay. So Grifter's gonna seeing something's wrong there. He's gonna immediately sort of turn to Karis and go, look after her, and then bolt to the wall or to the direction of where I think I heard the scream.
You head down the hall, get to the other door. Do you open it?
Probably with the, because obviously, although it's ghosts and whatnot, that's not Grifter's area. So he's assuming, and it's going to be like a normal encounter for him. So he'll probably put his back to the wall that's, so he's next to the door and listen first to see if he can hear anything inside.
You hear some shuffling, some movement. There's almost a groan of material like wood or the rotting plaster as well. So you don't know if it's Nico moving inside, because you heard the scream coming from here. And you Pete know it. She's in the wall.
Yeah.
But for Grifter, she may just be in that room.
All right. So he takes a deep breath. There's nothing in there that really gives him anything to go on. Stand in front of the door, kick the door down, gun up, ready to see what he's going into.
You kick open the door, you go in, and immediately in front of you is. Let me just quickly. I forgot it. I seriously just blanked on his name. Give me a second. Sorry, folks. Too many NPCs at this stage. Roland is there. And the moment you open in and come in, he steps from your side and puts a gun against your temple and goes, "You should have accepted my offer," and pulls the trigger. I need a willpower and intuition roll from you.
Willpower and intuition. Now the question is, do I edge this?
You just have to ask yourself how Grifter feels about edging.
Well, indeed.
He's in favor of it.
I'd say so, probably.
There's a +3 from Megan.
Well, if it, yes, I'll take that. If
I'll allow it.
Right, so here we go. Thank you very much. Oh,
thank God you just took it.
Thank God we did 3 hits.
3 hits. I need you to roll your body.
Oh. Four hits.
4 hits. You take 3 points of stun damage. You didn't roll high enough to realize immediately that it's an illusion, so your mind recognizes this as a real threat, and the gun, you feel it pressing against your temple. But instead of blowing your head off, what it gives you is a splitting migraine. as you and it eventually you move past the realization that he can't be here. There's no chance in hell that he could be here, and you move past it. But it's almost like your mind struggles to move past that illusion, and you have a lingering headache now of the strain that this put on your senses. But Nico
Okay.
is not in this room. But you're certain you heard her from this direction. Nico, I'll allow you one action. You don't have any air, but you are now fully suffocating. You have choose one action you wish to perform to try to draw attention to you.
She is. How much movement does she have at all?
You can move your fingers at most.
She's clawing at the wall. She's just literally trying to get her hands up.
Grifter, make an intuition and perception roll, and I'm going to put the difficulty of this at 3 again. Did you spend the +3 on the previous roll?
I did, yes.
Okay.
Unfortunately. So I'll spend a couple of edge here just to get a couple of re-rolls in case this goes badly. So, okay. Only got 2 hits.
You hear the scratching. And I'll tell you one thing. You know that Nico is... You have the immediate realization that Nico is inside the wall. You just don't know exactly where. So you don't know where you would punch through without potentially hurting her.
Does the... Because I'm using the rifle that was given to me by
Malcolm. Yeah.
Malcolm. Would that have any sort of like thermal imaging type?
It does,
scope?
in fact, have thermal imaging.
So can I do that and scan the walls?
I'll say that gives you the extra success, and you hone in and you can see Nico just stuck there, immobile. You just see like her fingers moving.
So yeah, sort of get myself together. The rifle slung around my shoulder. I turned the pain sensors off in my hands, so I can't feel that I'm punching through anything that would hurt me. And yeah, I'll just sort of go straight in with my fists either side of her shoulders and try and start loosening the bricks away.
Make a strength and an athletics roll for me.
And athletics.
Oh, yeah, 2.
1, 2. And athletics 6.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, give me a break. All them dice. 5.
5 hits.
Yep.
You recreate that scene in RoboCop 1 where he punches through the walls and drags someone out, but you do it in the lifesaver way. You crash through and at the right positions to make the wall collapse towards you as you pull her out. Nico, you take one desperate breath of air as you feel the metal arms pulling you out of the wall. In what state does Grifter find Nico, aside of covered in dust, plaster, and a burning handprint on her chest?
On her chest, it's burned through her outfit. So there's a handprint on her chest, and you can see the burnt skin. She's wide-eyed. Grifter's never seen Nico like this before. She is wide-eyed, panicking. She's fighting him. She's covered in bruises and cuts, and she's pale underneath all of the dust. and everything, and there's no real strength behind it, but she's fighting him. She's just wildly swinging out and screaming, but she can't really scream because she's barely got any air, so it comes out really hoarse. It's almost a harsh whisper of a scream. And she looks wrecked. He's never seen, she's not processing anything.
ADP, I need you to make either an agility and athletics roll or a strength and athletics roll for me.
Good luck.
I'm going to give you 3 edge because Karis is assisting you.
Okay.
What do you want to do with those
I'm
edge?
just looking. Oh, just put 3 rerolls in it.
3 rerolls, yeah.
Do you have any athletics?
Another
Yeah.
+3 just went up.
And yes, we have another +3 from Megan, who wants you all to survive. Damn it, Megan.
Big
Now
gloves.
they just don't want to watch me struggle to roll a new character.
What do you want to do with the 6 rerolls or?
No, it's a dice boost. It's
Oh,
not-
dice boost, right? Okay, yeah, right, ready? 2 dice boost and
3 rerolls.
3 rerolls.
Yeah. 4.
4. Karis grabs both of your hands and pulls you towards him, and you use that momentum to kind of take the hands off you, and they feel solid. But they also feel kind of like slimy. But since you can't see what exactly it is, because at most you kind of see like a haze, you move away, and you literally, on the skin that you touched with even your hands, there is almost like the slight like cold burn. Grifter,
Yes.
what are you doing?
Okay, so I'm assuming that we've sort of Nico's kind of collapsed to the floor as I've pulled her out. She's struggling and fighting. So I'll grab her arms and try and sort of restrain, not tight to her, but just, like, calm down. Like, you're okay.
Let's have you make a charisma and influence roll for me.
Charisma?
I'm gonna give. I'm sorry, I can't give you edge because of your negative quality. But I'm gonna give you charisma and influence roll, and I'm gonna let Kat put the difficulty on this roll for Grifter's words to, if not calm her down, at least reach her. From 1 to 5.
Boy, part of it depends on what he's actually going to say to her.
I guess I'm just trying to.
Don't say man up. That's not the right choice.
No. Like, just, you're okay. I've got you. You're okay. You're safe,
We'll put it at 3.
Okay.
I was headed towards a 4, but I'm putting it at a 3. She's no higher functions going on right now.
Yeah. Nico.exe has shut down.
Yeah.
Here we go with the roll. Should have gone with a 1. I got 1.
You hear the words, Nico, but they're not registering.
Yeah.
At least not yet.
At least she's not fighting back very
I'm
hard.
gonna offer you a choice at this moment. You have 3 choices. 1, you focus all your energy on. Actually, it's 2 choices. You focus on protecting Nico or protecting yourself. Which do you choose?
Well, I'm kind of focused on Nico right now, and like my rifle slung on my back where I've. So yeah, I guess it's more of a Nico thing than it is a Grifter thing.
You have heard Nico in the past describe some of the spiritual beings that she's interacted with, but you've never before, aside from that death spirit that somehow got summoned during that shootout at the hospital. Aside from that, you've never seen anything manifested. In fact, I think Nico once told you that it requires a certain level of like spiritual presence for you to be able to perceive it. So with that knowledge in mind, the wall to your right lights a flame, and through it steps this individual in this 1920s like PI attire with the flaming blue head. And you can see him as clearly as you can see yourself. And he strides towards you. You put yourself in between him and Nico. And he goes, "Hello, Tin Man, let's party."
Nico
I need-
screams.
I need you to roll your body, Grifter.
That voice got through. Nico is screaming.
I got nothing.
Nothing. You are lucky that I got nothing either. So you are going to take just a small amount of damage. Actually, you know what? I'm going to spend some edge for my dude.
No, don't do that.
Yes,
That would be a waste of your
perfect.
edge.
I got 2 hits because if not, then this doesn't make sense. But hey, I'm spending his edge. That's important for you. He grabs you by the shoulders, rips you away from Nico, and throws you against the wall. You crash through the wall, into the hallway, through the other wall, and crash into the room where KTP and Karas are, leaving a giant hole along the way. You take 2
Okay.
points of physical damage.
2 points of physical. So that's not crippling in any way.
No, not least of all for Grifter.
Yeah. So
Basically, he
wall.
threw you, but he didn't because you're not wearing that much. He didn't have that much because he is physical. He didn't have the strength is enormous, but he didn't have enough leverage to throw you very hard. And as you started to fly, you tugged and basically went cannonball position and just crashed through the walls and landed on the other side. A bit of a heap, but you didn't get as hurt.
Can Karis see through the hole I have created to see what's going on? Is it that clear now, or?
Yes, you can all clearly see through that hole. KTP, through the hole, you see Nico in a state of panic like you've never seen her before. Straight up screaming in panic. And this figure looming over her, stalking towards her. Make an intuition and perception roll. Grifter, you can also make this roll if you want.
Intuition and perception.
Is it a visual one or
Yeah.
not?
Is it a visual perception?
Oh, yeah, it's visual perception. It's you're trying to read motive, basically. So you're reading body language, what you can see.
I got a 5 and KTP got a 4.
You both look at this creature, this specter, moving towards Nico, who is essentially cowering from him. And you realize immediately you are watching a predator savor the prey. Like he is delighted in her fear, and it's literally feeding him. But with that high roll, you know it's not going to stop him from snuffing her out.
So Grifter picks himself up off the floor. I'm assuming he's on his back.
Yeah.
Pulls himself up.
Grifter
Turns to Karis.
Grifter is strong enough to do a foot like a kip up.
Yeah. Looks straight at Karis, straight in the eyes. Goes, if that comes through that wall there, fucking kill it. And then I just run as hard as I can at him.
Let's make this. An agility and close combat. We're gonna make it an opposed roll. His versus yours.
Come on, dice.
Only his is not exactly close combat. It's more spiritual combat.
Right, I got 5.
And they were all 6s.
Oh,
I need to take a photo of this roll. And this is just the first set of dice in this roll. That's the first set of dice from this pool.
a set of dice being like 2 or 3 die, right?
Sure, yeah. How much did you roll?
5.
9.
Shite.
The first set of dice I rolled, which are 5 dice, my sets of dice are 5 for this guy. I mean, I only have 5 dice, so I rolled, like 5, 5, and then more, and then whatever the pool is, because it is higher than 10. I rolled 6, 5, 5, 5, 5. You come at him to, what is the Grifter's intent? Like tackle him?
Yeah, I guess he was almost just trying to shoulder barge him and just push him away, like push him into the wall.
You come at to try to tackle him, and he just raises a hand and brings it down and literally swats you onto the ground. I need you to roll your body for me, please. And you better roll high, buddy.
I got 3.
3. Cool.
That's quite high.
You take 6 points of stun damage.
6 points of happy cuddle damage. Did you say?
Happy cuddle damage. And you feel the same thing that Nico felt. You feel him as whatever he is touches you. You feel the life being zapped out of you. Like you, at first you feel like an impact, but then you realize it's just your strength leaving your body. And you just crash on the floor.
Right. So I'm not in. I'm not unconscious.
Oh, you're not unconscious.
Far from it.
But you do feel this individual stepping on you as he strides towards the room with KTP and Karis.
Am I able to do anything at this point?
What do you want to do?
So I'm face down on the floor, and his foot's on my back.
Yep.
There's not really much I can do, is there, in this situation? And
while you think, KTP, Karis has his action in mind. I'm going to ask you, what do you wish to do? May I remind you that we established last time you have full control over this house. Of you can blow pipes, you can you cause a water leakage, you can do anything in this house. You have control over its technology. So you have full reign to come up with something.
Yeah, I had an idea, and now I'm debating whether to do it or not. Because it could.
One tip: don't run at him.
I'm not going to run at him.
No, okay.
KTB's just gonna assume the crane stance.
Right. So I'm assuming that it's pretty obvious how scared Nico is, right?
I'll allow Kat to describe that.
Nico's got her back to the wall. She's sitting on the floor, back to the wall, knees drawn up like this. But you can also see she's pulling magic because she's scared to death. And that's an instinct to protect herself. So she's pulling magic. Whether
Right.
you can see she's pulling magic or not, but she's doing this.
The actions.
Yeah.
Right. I might try something and it might be quite risky. So I apologize now to Grifter and to Nico.
Just run at the door.
So when the group arrived at the house and KTP had her first run-in with a ghost who appeared to be her mum, right?
Yep.
Obviously that kind of stopped once she said like, well, this is bullshit, and kind of, that logic side of her brain kind of convinced her that, this can't be real. So she kind of knows that sort of reacting to what you're seeing might not be like the best way to go, because too much is going on in this house which can't be real. So she's kind of going into that logical part of her brain.
Okay.
So she's going to try. And she's like, well, maybe it's the things you can't see. So she's going to try changing tact. So she turns to Karis, says to him, like she kind of like taking lip read, like really clearly, keep me close.
Mm-hmm.
And then she just goes full on, like into the Matrix, right? But what she's going to do is kind of, she's in the Matrix, but she's recreating this scene in her head where she's flying with Karis, like all the times where like they flew around London at night.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the place where she feels relaxed and she knows that she's safe with Karis and there's nothing to worry about. So she's trying to put herself into this kind of really meditative state where she's with Karis and she's with the phoenix that represents her, like flying with them. Oh God, this could go really wrong. So what she's trying to do is, when Malcolm said goodbye to her and Nico, like he managed to pull them both into this place, which was both magic and Matrix at once. And to KTP, it felt too real to be a dream. Like she's convinced that this place exists somewhere between magic and the Matrix. So she's trying to put herself in this state where she can get to that place again, hoping that there's some way for her to reach Nico through this kind of channel, knowing that it's kind of like a channel between her and Nico, and everything else outside, all the hallucinations, all the fear is not there. So she's trying to reach Nico kind of telepathically,
Here's what we'll do. You're trying to consciously barge into a metaphysical place between the bounds of technology and magic.
Damn
between
right.
the Matrix and the Astral Sea.
Yep.
I'll allow it. The role is going to be funky. Because there is no other way. What you're trying to do is funky. It's going to be charisma, which is the force of your personality, and willpower.
Okay.
The difficulty for this, I have to put it at 5. There is no other way for me to do
I'm just
put this at 5.
Right, so you got the numbers, yeah?
Yeah, I got the numbers. Yep.
Hang on. I'm just
And I'm going to offer you, and I'm going to tell you straight up, this will hurt.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. But I'm going to offer you one thing. If you need extra edge, you can willingly take damage and convert 1 box of physical damage into 1 point of edge. So that might get you closer to, having an early appointment with a Grim Reaper.
Can I donate edge?
I'm just checking matrix.
In this situation,
Edge.
I don't. Do I allow you to share edge for this one? You know what? Sure. Why not?
Okay.
I might not need it. Hold on. Right. So what I'm going to do is take the one box of physical damage for an edge. All right. Because I'm using willpower, my edge costs are reduced by 1. So now I've got 5 edge and a -1 on any cost. So I'm going to spend 3 and get the rerolls.
Right.
So that leaves me with 2 edge left. No, 3 edge left.
Do you want to take the edge that'll give you 4 so that you can do the pool?
Oh no,
Sure, I
that's
can.
yeah,
Oh,
that's what I'm
okay.
doing. Yeah. 'cause
Oh,
I've
okay.
reduced
Gotcha.
cost. Right. So I'm going to
Okay.
do the 6, the exploding 6s thing.
Yeah.
And I've got 3 edge left. So you need to add my edge to that pool.
Right.
That is right, isn't it?
Yeah. You add the
Right.
edge score to your pool,
Mm-hmm.
which is your attribute, and 6s explode.
Add 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do that. Exploding 6s.
This, I can't believe I'm making this.
There's a few there. It's fine. Oh, 5 hits. The reroll didn't work.
You dive into the matrix and you start going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into the layers of the deepest part of the matrix, just where you basically cross across time into fucking Windows 3.1 version of the matrix, just old layers trying to find that place, just using everything of you that is connected to the matrix at a personal level, just trying to find that link. And eventually you think of Malcolm, as you were saying, and through him find almost like a gateway, almost like a Stargate, and you dive through it and end in this half and half place. And in the real world, you open your eyes and you can see that you are surrounded by spirits, but to you here right now they look like devices. There is a big mean monster coming towards you that looks at this moment like a black icy.
Right.
At this moment in this situation, you have somehow broken a barrier, and you can treat every specter, everything here that is astral, as if it were a program in the matrix.
Right.
So the first thing I will tell you, and I will give this to you for free because of the role. This giant thing, this monster with a flaming head, which in its representation in the Matrix is very much almost like a Balrog from Lord of the Rings, just this monstrosity with a flaming head. It is literally feeding from everything in this house. Even the most tiny of spirits is giving him strength.
Right. Okay. So with that logic then, she's going to assume that there's no point in attacking it directly.
You could very well, as if it were any other program.
Oh yeah. But if it's pulling device from other things, pulling energy from other things in the house, they're only going to keep fueling it.
Possibly, or they'll snuff out. You do see in this moment, and through this connection, you can also see that Nico is I think to say you're doing rough, even at a magical level because of drain, she is very much running on fumes at this stage.
So if I was to go back into the Matrix and Stargate, would there be any way for me to reach Nico on that plane the same as Malcolm did, like to communicate with her through that?
You can easily communicate. Even right now, you can reach her.
Yeah, but is Nico's fear gonna stop
That's
me?
something you'll have to deal with regardless. I will tell you one thing. There seems to be something sitting next to Nico. And it seems to be different from all the other presences in this house. Like it has a different color.
Right. And what do I see that represented as in like device wise?
Device wise, it looks like a person screaming in her ears to get her ass up and in gear.
Right.
And you recognize the voice. It's coming through garbled, but it's Vic.
It's Vic.
It's Vic.
Does KTP know that Nico's got a, sorry, I can't think what the word is, but you're
Like a guardian spirit? Yes.
yeah.
I would say so, yes.
Yeah, you know.
But he is not present at this moment.
Do I know that though?
You can't see him. And
Yeah.
you would see him very close to her.
So, but what I'm trying to figure out is, would KTP know that Vic is a hallucination, if you like, or is this a manifestation of Nico's guardian?
Let's have you. This is not your area of expertise at
No.
all. So
No.
I'd say you don't.
Right.
If you want to communicate with Nico, you can. But it will be the same thing I asked of Grifter. It will be a charisma and influence roll. And I think because you are connected at kind of the same wavelength, I'm going to put the difficulty at 3. Because you kind of can connect to her directly and essentially do, Shadowrun bullshit mind meld. My mind to your mind.
What was the role? Sorry, charisma and
And
influence.
influence. Yes.
Right, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go for it and try and communicate with Nico. Oh,
Or Nico, through all the haze, you clearly hear KTP as if she were standing next to you. So KTP, take it away.
I'm just going to keep it really simple. I'm going to look Nico straight in the eye, however far away we are, look her straight in the eye, and just say to her, make it count.
She screams at you to run.
Might need to roll for this, but is that coming across to KTP as a kind of warning, as in Nico's going to do something, or Nico's so scared that she just wants KTP to get out?
Both.
I need to make a roll. Because the Burning Man has reached Karis. So I'm going to make a roll for Karis. I'm going to roll for the other person. Karis's body. KTP, you are standing now awake, but in this strange state in between where you can see everything in this haze. Karis is standing in front of you, bodyguard standing in between you and this thing. And it reaches Karis and just flicks a wrist, and Karis goes flying against the wall. Karis takes 9 points of stun damage. And he has now locked his eyes on you. What are you doing?
Can Nico make one last panicked action?
Of course, Nico is still in play.
Okay. Nico, what this will look like to KTP is her mana, the energy that she pulls from is shredded, it's tattered. And it looks like she's almost clawing at it and pulling as much of it in as she possibly can and gathering it together. And she's going to take as much as she can, and she's going to throw a mana bolt.
I'm going to tell you one thing.
Okay.
Do you have any edge to spend?
I have all of my edge to spend, yes.
If you spend 2 edge, I will give you something.
Done.
You're there. Your magic is in tatters. It's frayed. You're desperate. And in a moment of clarity, as you're more or less thinking, this is it for me. But I'm going to get them out, which I'm guessing is Nico's thought process.
Yeah.
You
Pulls attention to her.
You hear Vic's voice clearly in your ear. It says, this is not what I taught you. This is not how you survive. Get pissed. That's how you fight. Get angry. That's what I taught you. And you realize you don't fully see him, but out of the corner of your eyes, you see almost like a haze-like image of him. And the voice comes through clearly and then vanishes. And at that point, KTP, you see that presence near her just be snuffed.
Okay.
And drawn into the monster.
Because KTP can liberate.
I'm going to give you 3 extra dice for this roll.
Okay.
But only to resist your drain.
Okay.
To allow you to survive.
Okay. Yeah, so because KTP can lip read, the last thing she sees Nico say, mouth, before she throws this spell is "fuck you, Vic." Okay. So I'm trying to pick. Okay, that's.
Rifter, what are you doing? You open fire?
So yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm now in a slightly worse state than I was the first time I got up off the floor. So he stepped over me. I've now flipped over onto my back. I can see that Nico's about to do something, and I can see that Karis got destroyed. So I've had time to pull the rifle round, arm, and unload. If nothing else, an attempt to draw attention away.
Make a roll. The more hits you get, aside from damage, you will be reduced. For every hit, you will be taking 1 die away from his defense against Nico. Same with KDP. What do you wish to do in this situation? You can be offensive. You can try to be defensive. How will you help in this situation? Nico is clearly preparing to do something that's slightly dangerous, likely.
Can I see that Rifter is about to shoot as well?
Yes. It's very easy to realize that it's Grifter and he has a gun in his hand. Yeah, he's going to shoot.
So In that case, then, Kay, seeing as the other two are kind of getting ready to just go for it, she's just like, fuck it, data spike.
Okay, you're gonna data spike him. Okay. Okay, let's start with Grifter.
I got 6 hits.
6 hits. I'm gonna try to roll him to see if he can avoid or mitigate. Okay. You got how many? 6, was it?
6, yeah.
Okay, 6. You're you're removing 3 of his dice from the pool, and this will negate dice that he's going to use to defend against both KTP and Nico. So it's a mana bolt from the magic side and a data spike from the technological side.
Yeah, I think like KTP is gonna try and time it with Nico, like just because she's in this kind of mix of magic and matrix, like thinking that I don't know that like there must be something about it that Malcolm used to pull them together, and they're stronger together. So she's just coming at it from both angles.
Okay. Roll it up.
8 hits for Nico.
Ooh, beautiful.
5 from me.
5. Okay.
And I spent the rest of my edge, by the
I
way.
will
on that.
roll, and I will be spending his edge fully. This is a do or die situation for everyone involved. Whatever I roll, he has minus 3 dice, but I am adding 8 dice to his pool with 6 is exploding. In total, I'm adding 5 dice to his pool because I'm removing 3. So I need to fully defend against this. I need to reach 13. If not, we'll assign levels of damage. Last. ATP, your damage is your attack rating, which I think is your charisma.
All right.
Check just real quick. Your attack is your charisma. So how much is your charisma?
5.
5. So your damage is net hit plus, let me just quickly check the data spike. Yeah, attack attribute half rounded up. So 3. Okay. And Nico, your damage is net hits.
It's
plus
direct,
half
it's
your
direct
magic.
combat. Yeah. Oh, it's direct combat. So yeah,
Half your magic.
half my
So
magic. Magic is 9, so half is 4.
4. Actually, no, it's rounded up. So
Okay, so
5. 5.
So 13.
KTP, your damage is straight up your charisma. Nico, your damage is that 5 plus 1. I rolled 12 hits out of 13. I rolled 4 6s in a row. Now I have to roll with his, call it spectral body, to resist 6 and 3, 9, to see what kind of damage you're doing. Please, Grifter, What is the damage of your weapon?
It is 5.
5 plus the 3
Physical.
hits. 5 plus the 3 hits. We'll take the 3 extra hits because those went into removing some of his defense, but it's another 5 levels of damage. So in total, he needs to roll his body, which I'm telling you straight away, it's a roll of 7 dice to try to resist 15 levels of damage. If he succeeds, his health is 12 levels of life, so to speak. 12 boxes. So if I'm lower, if I succeed more than 3 hits, he remains alive, if not thoroughly fucked up. But if I don't get even a single, if I get less than 3 hits, he's dead. You blast him with everything, and the shot rings out from the rifle. It makes him stagger, and then the 2 blasts come at him and blow out one of his arms. One of his legs falls off. The fire diminishes and kind of falls down, but he is still holding on. Nico, I need you to roll that drain. You have 3 extra dice.
Yes, I did. And I needed 4 hits and I got 5.
So Nico is still in play. And this thing is so thoroughly diminished that it's now trying to pull strength from the other ghosts, and they are one by one snuffing. But there is another consequence to this. As he is weakened, in this moment alone, he's weakened. The barriers that are keeping you all trapped in this house fall. And you can clearly see the door to the outside. Not only that, Nico, you feel the Firebringer with you, who was before this away, kept away from you. What do? You can easily run away, or you can finish this job with whatever consequence that entails.
Her mana is shredded, so she's just pulling air now. And she's getting ready. You can see her. She's getting ready to cast another spell.
Okay. I'm going to offer you a choice. And this is a choice for Nico alone. You are fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
There's a good chance that you are going to end in a bad place with this overflow.
Yep.
I am willing to let you forego any role and give you freedom to describe how this happens. But there is a consequence. The consequence is the Firebringer sacrifices himself for you.
Nope.
Are you sure?
She's had enough
That
of
was a
that.
pretty
Yes.
hard no.
Yeah, nope. She's had enough people sacrifice for her.
Okay.
No.
Also, KTP, I need you to roll your body for me. Now time to pay the piper.
3.
3. Okay. You take 7 points of physical damage.
Oh,
As this combination of incompatible energies, traditionally incompatible, is burning you out. You can choose, I'll give you another choice. You can choose to let it go and let it end and return to normal, or you can continue to ride this and potentially take more damage, but still be able to interact with the spectral realm as if it were digital.
Need to think about that one.
For those in the room, you can clearly see the KTP wobbles in her feet and literally spits out blood. What are your calls? Grifter, what about you? Karis is picking himself up from the ground. He is messed up. And you see that the creature, the flaming head individual, is starting to regenerate. But you can clearly see, KTP, that the other ghosts are snuffing out. They're just being consumed as the leg reappears and is standing. And just standing tall again.
So he's still got his back to me, right? Because it was.
No, he got you. He's facing you, though. Actually, now is turning around to face Nico. Nico, he is now stalking towards you, and the hand is lit on fire.
So how close is he to me now? Because I'm in the same room as Nico, right?
Still pretty much point blank. It's a very short room for this.
So as he's sort of bearing down on Nico is about to do some other spell, right? That was what was going down. So I can see that she's about to do that.
It looks like heat shimmer in her hand,
right?
As compressed air.
So while his attention is not on me, I'm just going to sort of, with all the force I can muster, I'm just going to try, and I've also still got the pain sensors off on my hands. I'm just going to sort of grab the blue fire head and just try and stick my thumbs into the eyes and just push him, or what, like the last ditch attempt to stop it.
I'm gonna let's make this an agility and athletics roll. Sorry, agility and close combat.
Sorry, can I just get to the dice? Thank you.
It'll be opposed again, but he has -6 dice right now because of how messed up he is.
So it's close combat and agility. Yeah, go on then. But only get 60s, please.
No pressure. Five.
I have one hit. You grab him, you're pressing into nothing. But
I figured
but it feels semi-solid. I'm gonna tell you, you will take 2 points of physical damage from the fire, from the proximity of the heat on your face. But your fingers sink into something, and this creature howls and backs away from you, and like hits the wall with his back, presenting a very clear target. So now I ask the question to again to KTP.
How many spirits can I sense in the house still?
There are about 2. One of them has already been snuffed, as he's trying to recover from whatever Grifter did to him.
That's it then. Like there's no other spirits in there anymore.
There's 2 more left. You could wait until he's swallowed them all and then, hold off until that moment, but it means he will recover some of his health.
So the 2 that are left, where are they? Can I see them?
They're all standing. They're not standing. They're gripping the walls and ceilings, grabbing onto like the ground as they're being literally sucked into this creature. He is draining their essence. They're kind of like a typical hurricane movie. Someone grabbing as they're being pulled, their legs whipping in the air. That's very much what these ghosts are doing.
So they're like kind of hanging on to stuff.
Yeah.
All right. So, I'm just trying to think. Are they close together?
Yes. I mean, you're all very close together at this moment because you're all in the first floor, and it's very much close quarters,
Okay.
particularly with the walls gone.
Yeah. Sorry, just thinking.
We could go on our break right now, take 10 minutes. You can think what you want to do, and we'll return to see how this unfolds. Would that be okay?
Yeah. I need to think.
Well, we'll take 10 minutes then and be back with the rest in just a bit. See you all in a few minutes. Oh, we're back. And we left the question hanging. So, KTP, what is your choice?
I am going to, seeing as I'm still in that place and I can treat everything, I can still treat the spirits as matrix things.
Yep.
I am going to set a data bomb in one of the ghosts.
Okay. I'm not going to make you roll for this. The data bomb will go off and we'll take we'll deal a magic ton of damage. I want you to roll instead your body
Oh,
against a difficulty of 4.
Oh, there's no point then.
I just need you to roll because if you're about to take 4 points of physical damage.
There you go, 1.
1. You take 3 points of physical damage, which means KTP goes into overflow and is dying. How many overflow boxes do you have?
Honestly, I don't even know what that is.
Let's quickly check overflow.
Sorry.
No worries. It's the first.
Never been in this
so
position before.
121. And again, this book making you jump 15 pages. Okay, so overflow is after your normal health for your monitor. You have a number of additional boxes of overflow damage, which are the damage where you're dying, of body times 2. So okay, I think in your case that's 4.
Body's 3.
Body's 3, so 6. You're now in 1 overflow.
Okay.
But you drop. You're immediately unconscious. So you see KTP doing something and then drops.
Nico, you see the air that she's holding kind of change a little bit as she makes a break for KTP. Just gets up and is moving as fast as she can, which granted isn't very fast given her own physical condition, but she's moving to KTP.
Grifter, I'm gonna need an post athletics and agility roll from you. So roll yours. Now we'll roll mine.
Never written there. Sure.
Well, there's a cat in the tray, which makes it very difficult to roll dice. Five.
You are equally matched. So you are not flung away, but this guy, you're struggling with him to get for him to get you off him. But he seems to have put now all his attention on whatever the hell Nico is doing.
So am I still holding his head then?
If you want to, unless you don't want to.
So as we're in this struggle and we're evenly matched, is it possible to use my gun in my arm and fire around at point blank range into his face?
Go for it.
Let's do that.
What's the worst
Is
that
that
could
what you
happen?
I need a Jilly.
Roll his defense.
Oh,
Which in his case is more like a protective aura.
do shooty very well now.
Just. There you go.
What do we get? What do we get? 2, 4. I
You blast the head off his head. And at that point, you see the body fall to the ground, unmoving.
that's a good sign, right?
KTP, you are unconscious, so you don't see the last two ghosts being pulled into him. Grifter, you are standing over this body. It hasn't dissipated. It hasn't gone away. Just not a light.
I guess I look around to see, Nico, Karis, where are they at? What are they doing?
Nico, I think, is kneeling by KTP.
Yep. And
Karis has already picked himself up, but he has his own accelerated healing. So he heals from stun damage fairly quickly. And Grifter is hobbling towards you.
Nico, the ball of air that she had has become like a warm flame, and she just pushes it down into KTP, and she heals for 4.
Okay,
That
I need you to
includes the
roll that
overflow.
drain.
Yeah, that's going to be the fun part.
Just a quick question.
Uh-huh.
If I'm in overflow, does
Mhm.
one of those 4 count towards the one overflow?
Yes.
Thank
Yes,
you.
it does. What's my overflow on heal?
And if your overflow boxes fill in stun, everything else becomes physical.
Yep. I needed 3, and that's what I rolled.
Oh, you don't take any more damage,
Oh.
and my camera has gone iffy. But I'll fix it quickly with
Magic.
turn it off, turn it on again. There we go.
Ah,
It fixes everything. You heal KTP for how much?
4 total.
4. You heal for 4 damage. The rest will need to heal naturally. Grifter, you hear a rumble behind you as you see the body stand up again and the flame alight again, but it's kind of weaker. He goes, "What did that techno bitch do?" And he's now just moving purposefully towards all of you.
Start pulling up Cloud again to throw at him.
You see that his body is deforming, like it's bubbling up from the inside as if he's growing and growing, but more like a balloon that's being inflated more and more, and it's about to pop.
Pulling up Cloud and tossing it. Maybe it will hurt.
I guess Grifter will shoot the rifle again if he's at it. Yeah.
I'm going to try to defend against Nico, which will leave him open against Grifter.
4 hits.
6. He once again slaps your spell out of the way. It is clumsy though, and he kind of wobbles in place. Says, before I go, I'm gonna kill one of you. And he continues to move forward. Grifter, it's all or nothing.
We get
He goes down.
I got
Goes
10 that
down.
time.
How much?
10.
10 hits.
Mm-hmm.
Grifter, you see that he is like breaking up at the seams. You almost see like cracks, like tears, almost like cloth appear on the very fabric of his nature, and you almost see like a little flame on the inside. So you just draw the gun, fire, and snuff it with a bullet. And he just stops dead, and drops, but keeps blowing up. So I'm gonna need a choice from someone, either Grifter or Karis, or both, to be meat shields for everyone else.
Well,
If
Grifter
there are
turns.
two members of your group where one member's group is down and the other one doesn't really have enough health to take much of anything.
The Grifter turns to Karis and goes, "Can you get them two out of here?"
He looks at the body and says, "Not enough time." He tries to sign it and realizes you don't understand him, and it just taps his wrist like a watch. Not enough time.
So Grifter just looks at him and goes, "Okay," and just jumps on the balloon.
Do you? Here I'm gonna be. This is what I make you. A decision, and this decision is yours and yours alone. No one else can interfere in this decision. Does Karis jump on this grenade with you, or is this a Grifter only thing? I'm going to straight with you. If Karis jumps on this as well, the damage will be halved. It will be taken half and half. If not, Grifter, you're taking the full brunt of this.
As Karis has only taken stun damage so
damage
far.
already healed half of it.
So in that case, both, I guess, Grifter goes, Karis is instantly, what a twat, and goes as well.
Okay. I'm going to need you to roll your body for me.
You're not going to take that risk.
And I'm going to be very straight with you. You're taking 9 levels of physical damage. So roll that body to resist 9 levels of physical.
Not using any herbs.
4.
4. So you take 5 levels of physical. Going to roll for Karis, who has 8 in body. Karis rolled 2. So Karis is taking 7 levels of physical. This thing detonates and throws you both off through the rotten walls. There is a storm of spirits just leaving this thing and just flying up into the air. KTP is the only person kind of awake right now. You see this happening before you, and as the creature disintegrates, it shifts form to different other spirit. It becomes that more refined gentleman, like the white suit. He becomes Mugshot. He becomes every other person that you've known who's died died in a violent situation. He becomes those people as well. Until eventually everything just leaves. And there is almost like a gasp of air. The walls are coming down. The windows are crashed. This place will need to be pretty much rebuilt. But a weight lifts. That oppressive presence that you felt when you came through the door the first time is now gone. Unfortunately, so are most of the walls. But you are awake, but everyone else, I mean, Grifter and Karis are both awake, but thrown across rooms. And you have succeeded in clearing this house.
Huzzah. Grifter's going to slowly sort of stand up out of whatever rubble pile he's ended up in. Because I'm not unconscious still. Barely, but I'm
Karis
still.
is also at the barely stage.
Yeah.
He barely he's like starting to move. He just mostly just raises a thumb for being prone, and just drops the hand again.
So Grifter just shouts out, like, "Is everyone good?"
Nico will not reply because Nico is off in La La Land. And KTP is awake, but hurt.
So I can see movement, right? I must be able to see KTP sort of driving around in agony on the floor. I know Karis is okay because I saw the thumb go up.
Yeah.
So I take that as given. I'm going to walk over to stagger over, crawl over to KTP and Nico, which I'm assuming are very similar positions.
Yep. Flat on their ass.
Flat on their ass.
Yeah, Nico was kneeling next to KTP and just went boop onto her side.
So there's nothing we can really do to wake Nico up from that, is there? Because I haven't.
It'll be just you've seen this before. It's rest. Karis signs very weakly, mostly just from pain, other than anything else, and it translates through the app. Can we just get out of here?
Yeah, so I guess Karis will pick up KTP and I'll pick up Nico and we'll kind of walk to the car.
You all kind of hobble to the car, looking like you've just been through the bender from hell. There's bits of glass, plaster wood hanging off you. You're carrying a weapon. The rest, everyone is bloodied, burned, and just looking like all kinds of hell. But you get on the car and drive back to your base for a nice rest.
Rest indeed. I've just thought of something. The necklaces. What were they? Have they gone there, or do we have to do
the necklaces
something?
are the reason you were taking for the most part you were taking
as little damage as we were.
Stun damage instead of physical.
Right.
With Nico it was different. He was doing it on purpose. Because Nico came in with an attitude. He was focused on making her regret the flippant attitude.
And Nico had given her amulet to Karis anyway, so.
That's why you were taking stun damage. Otherwise, you would have been taking physical.
Yep.
Oh. We'll move our clock to the next day.
Yeah.
I'm going to need everybody to roll twice their body to see how much you heal naturally of your different wounds.
Thanks.
I think Nico doesn't have that much to heal physical.
She's got 7 to heal physical.
Beautiful.
And I've got the quick healer, so
Yep, same.
Gonna roll for Karis.
2 hits, so I guess that doubles. I don't know.
I'll say doubles, yeah. Karis heals about 4. It'll likely heal more throughout the day.
Yeah, I've
So
got 4.
he'll stun damage first.
We'll say the stun damage gets healed through sleep.
Okay.
Just deal with the
So-
physical, which is actual physical trauma.
Okay.
So 5 hours of sleep will heal her of her stun damage. She's got accelerated healing. Instead of an hour sleep to heal stun, it only takes a half an hour. That's what I have in my notes. I could be wrong.
Okay. Is it 4?
Mm-hmm. And the stun works overnight. Just
Oh.
goes. Yeah.
We'll say that heals overnight.
Okay.
Just worry about the physical, which you all took in serious amounts.
Okay.
The next day comes, and you all groan as you awake, as every inch of your bodies hurts. Grifter, every part of you that is not metal, you wish for a moment were metal because they hurt like hell.
Do my arms need like any maintenance after the whole holding fireballs and stuff?
No, they're fairly resilient.
Okay.
I mean, there are some scuff marks, some look a bit burnt, but nothing that'll impact their performance. You can buff that out.
Buff it out. A bit of teacup.
You all awake, and you are all in your base alive. I leave it to you.
Are you buffing?
I guess I'm at the kitchen table wiping residue from the arms.
What's Karis doing?
Harris is sleeping. Harris is taking the is essentially sleeping late.
Do we need to go and tell someone that we've done this thing?
Nico comes out of her room, wrapped up in a blanket, leaning on Dr. Watson. I need to get a hold of Sarah and Amelia. Because once she slept enough to recover from being unconscious, she had insomnia.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
terrible.
Yeah. So she doesn't look much better than she did, other than some of the physical healing. But yeah, she's like, as soon as I remember how to use one of these, she looks at her comm.
Griffith sort of said, "Do you want coffee?" No.
And she just stumbles, manages to make it to the sofa where she collapses, curled up on the corner of the sofa, wrapped in her blanket, and just is kind of doing the 1,000-yard stare thing.
How is Nico doing now that the ordeal is over?
There's going to be nightmares. I'm going to willingly give up and the insomnia rolls for probably a week, because she's going to be having nightmares about this. This fucked with her head bad. I mean, she's been pretty okay with the PTSD with the insomnia, but this is going to fuck with her.
This is the first time something has actually dedicated energy into tormenting Nico in a very real way.
Yeah. And it's not so much well, that's part of it. She doesn't care about being tormented so much about it, but just with how fast it all went to shit. Her brain can't process that and is not processing it. So it's coming out in nightmares.
ATP, what's going on with you?
She is in her room, but she's doing research. But normally when she's researching something and she's stressed or frightened, the door's shut. But this time the door's open, so it's got that barrier, isn't there? So if anyone does want to come in, they can. But I think because now she's kind of had this taste of kind of meeting Malcolm and Nico on this middle plane, and she's had that experience at the house, she feels there's something there, like there's a place where.
By the way,
magic.
do me a favor. Can you roll your body for me? Difficulty 2.
One.
As you're reading this, you're trying to find any information on, has this been done before? You don't find any of it. Also, as you're reading it, you lose sight in your left eye. You have done something that is metaphysically impossible. You're paying the consequences. We'll see if it's temporary.
Oh.
It was impossible, but I did it. So technically it was possible.
Highly improbable then. How does KTP react?
She probably assumes that it's because she's tired. So she'll just go back to bed.
Grifter, what's going on with you?
Well, physically, he's okay, a bit sore and whatnot, but I mean, it wasn't too bad. The stun damage has worn off overnight.
Still, you were blown up, thrown across walls, and basically swatted down on your face with a degree of ease I don't think Grifter has ever encountered before.
Well, when you put it like that, yeah.
Does it affect Grifter in any way, or is it more, it happened, move on?
I think it's more it happened, move on. Nothing, it was a bad situation, but we dealt with it and it all went all right in the end. Like, there's been no loss of life or. Yeah, I think he's pretty much, we kick some ass. This is, it's what we do. So he's a little bit shocked to see Nico so quiet and, normally she would at least want coffee, if nothing else. And KTP hasn't surfaced yet, but he's not the type of guy to go walking around to people's rooms and checking on them. So, yeah, I think almost he's just a little surprised by everybody else's subduedness.
I think the characters will need another day of rest and recovery. So unless you want to do something at this moment, we can move our clock forward.
Yeah, it's going to be the next day before she reaches out to Sarah and Amelia.
Reach them the next day. KTP, you awake. You still can't see properly out of your left eye. It's not completely black. There is a bit of light, but you're mostly blind in that eye right now. Needs more sleep. What do you all wish to do?
I think Nico's actually going to drag herself down to the shop instead of using the comm. Just kind of wanders off. She's still been real quiet. She's still pale, dark circles under her eyes. Clearly she's not sleeping.
As you enter the shop, I'm going to make a roll for the sisters.
Okay. I think she's also been casting Hush on herself at nighttime before she goes to sleep, so she doesn't wake anybody up.
Dreams might wake someone up.
Hmm.
So Hush silences the area around you.
Yeah. She can't make noise even if she tries.
You enter the shop and they look at you, share a look between each other. Sarah turns around, starts making tea. Amelia goes straight to you and says, "Are you okay? You look like, all kinds of shit."
The thing that killed Kai is dead.
Wait, was that thing at the house?
It was the house.
Oh. Well. Damn. Come in. And they basically sit you, put tea and biscuits in front of you. And mostly just wait for you to volunteer anything. But they don't pressure you. They don't push you. Nothing.
I think she's not really talking about it, just there were, but it's going to need a lot of reno work. It's really kind of superficial stuff. She can't get through the rest of it. She starts to try to tell them about Vic being there, or the ghost of Vic being there, and can't. Just the words won't come out. And I think she just kind of ends up sitting there holding onto this tea mug with this plate of biscuits in front of her and just tears.
They scoot both their chairs to be next to yours and just wrap you in gigantic hugs.
And I mean, that's how she'll stay until somebody physically changes things.
They hold on to this like a good solid 5 minutes. It's a good 5 minute hug.
Mm-hmm.
And then Amelia kind of peels away. And Sarah's like, "If you need anything, let us know, okay?"
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But it's dead. It's gone.
And I'm guessing the house is clear as well?
Yeah, there's been some remodeling.
We kind of figured the way it was always a fixer-upper. I would have torn it down and rebuilt it again, but, not my choice. Well,
Should
take
take
the
care of
time
the
you need.
fog in Whitechapel.
Take the time you need, and when you're ready, we can begin your lessons. Nico,
Okay.
you have unlocked enchanting.
Yay!
KTP, what is going on with our technomancer?
Honestly, nothing. Just everyone's been quite quiet. So just lounging around the base, I guess.
And Grifter?
He's done his usual griftery things, gun maintenance, blah blah blah, shooty rangey stuff. And he's been back and forward to the sort of the communal areas a couple of times and realised that Nico's out. And he hasn't seen KTP much, and he would have expected to by now. So I don't know, he's going to make some lame excuse to sort of walk past a room. Is the door still open?
Yeah.
And as he, oh, look, I've dropped a bullet and it's rolled this way. I don't really care, but I've come this way. Oh, you're here. How you doing?
She just looks at him and doesn't say anything because it's obvious that it was staged.
Yeah, well, he's not known for his spy skills,
Exactly.
is he? Pretty intense couple of days, huh?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, like I'm trying to do the group thing here. You're not giving me much.
What do you want, Grifter?
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Huh. Do you want a drink or anything?
Are you feeling a bit lonely?
Where is everybody? Nobody's either not here or they're hiding in their rooms.
Answer the question. Are you feeling a bit lonely?
I'm just checking up on everyone, make sure they're okay.
Either you admit that you're lonely and I'll spend some time with you, or you're not and I'll stay right here.
I suppose we could hang out for a bit. If you want.
Yes, in that case, I'm not going anywhere.
Oh. He just sort of turns around and walks back down the corridor.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. So as you wander off, she calls out, like she shouts, "You didn't admit it." And carries on doing like just lounging around in a room.
So he walks back to your room. He goes, all right, so, I could use some company.
So then what she's going to do is tell Grifter to sit down on the bed and then get the headset that's been used for Nico to go into the Matrix. So she's going to give Grifter a talk because she knows it's going to like blow his mind.
After you do your first dive into full VR.
Okay. I don't think he really knows what to expect, does he, at this stage?
In a completely different environment with a giant fiery bird that speaks with
You're really quiet, Kevin.
far away from the mic.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, you appear in a 3D environment as you dive fully into VR, and you are in the host that you have in your base. It's basically a representation of the base as it once was as a train station. Pixels worth is there. The 8-bit butler AI says, "Well, hello, madam, sir. Welcome. Welcome."
So I guess He's doing the VR thing that everybody does, where they go, "Is that actually there?" And he's trying to touch.
He swaps your hand with like a duster, like. And I'm gonna ask the question: does KTP put Grifter in cold or hot sim? Hot sim being it has physical response.
I think it'd just be cold sim because it's his first time.
So it much like a game, just you see your hand moving. Like, there is an impact, but you don't feel any pain or any sensation. But he swats your hand away. Says, "Sir, I would request that you not be rude."
So KTP kind of slaps him around the back of the head and goes, "Yeah, don't be rude."
But it's like a computer game.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then she says, "Sorry, go on."
No, go on.
So she kind of looks at him with like a glint in her eye and goes, "Want to shoot some stuff?"
I always want to shoot stuff.
So I'm assuming that we can create some
you
kind
can-
of shooting
You
range.
can create any game here, any shooting simulator, anything.
It's the hunting dog with the ducks.
Yeah.
You create the game and start playing, and I think we're gonna end our session with KTP and Grifter having a quality virtual time together, and Nico being comforted by her two new sisters. For this session, I'm giving all of you 10 karma.
Oh.
And the reward, aside from the being given the lessons in enchanting, there is a payment on top from the people who asked Amelia and Sarah to do the deed. And it's another 15K Nuyen split, among you. And that is the end of our session. Episode 18, Pekaboo.
Didn't think I was going to survive that one.
No, it started badly, didn't it? But then it picked up at the end.
We got to thank Megan for the bonuses.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And sadly tonight I cannot stay for long, so we'll just quickly go and just go to my players and they can tell you who they are, who they were playing, and where you can find them in the dark corners of the internet, and if there's anything they have coming up. So, Kat, take it away.
Hello, I'm Kat. I'm at Cleric of Cord. You can find me lurking in most Discord servers and very rarely now on the Tweety Bird site because Elon Musk. This is my only streamed game going right now. I kind of taken a step back a little bit, and I'll see you guys next week.
And now the Duck Hunt Buddies.
You want to go first?
I can, but then you're going to have to promote.
Okay. So yeah, I'm Pete. I play Grifter, Street Samurai, and I think this has been a little bit emotional for him. I think
There are no emotions from Grifter.
a little bit,
Yeah.
just a gnats. And you won't find me anywhere apart from later levels, which you'll explain next. Yeah.
Okay. Right. So I'm Kim. I played KTP the Technomancer. And as Pete said, you can find us at later levels in most places. And from 17th of February, we'll be streaming every day for 10 days to raise funds and awareness for Special Effect, who are a charity that take, they modify controllers and software to help people with physical disabilities play video games.
A fantastic cause.
So during that week ish, there won't be a game of Shadowrun, but instead we will all be streaming different games in different channels. Go to laterlevels.com for all the information on the event, including where you can go and donate. And that's going to be it for us for tonight. Thank you all for watching. I hope you had a good time, and I will see you next time. Bye.